What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's TV review of the Apple TV Plus original series, Murderbot Season 1. This will follow Episode 5, which is called Rogue War Tracker Infinite, and is directed by Paul Weitz. Okay, so I enjoyed this episode. I will get that out of the way. I think it's a very fun, entertaining, kind of funny episode. Anna Konkle comes into the mix, who's a very funny actress. And I've complained about this, and I'll keep complaining about this. This episode didn't need to end where it ended. It needed to be like a full 90 minutes or 45 minutes long, because once again, they are cutting down this series, at least this first season, into interstitials, I guess you could say. It feels more like they have a 45-minute to an hour and a half episode, and they're cutting it down to make it longer in the series, at least in the season. And it really shows in this episode, like the way it ends with the explosion of the device that they need to send up to ask for help. It just ends. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? Just make 4 episodes of like an hour and a half each, and it'd be perfect. Like the last 3 episodes before this, or 4 episodes, were perfect as one unit. This feels like a new segment to a new kind of 4-episode arc, and I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand why they're doing it, but that's neither here or there. There's 10 episodes. I'm going to review all 10 episodes. I just have a huge problem with the fact of the way they ended this in such a we just need a cliffhanger so that you'll go into the next episode. Like, this is a poorly edited ending to an episode that is actually quite entertaining, to be fairly honest. I love what this episode is doing. I love the fact that Garathan is now kind of put into the mix that Murderbot, its programming has been like compromised, and it's kind of now like corrupted its system. So now it knows. The fact that they joke about the simple fact that it downloaded every single episode of Sanctuary Moon, and he's able to go to a deep cut, is really funny. I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff. The stuff with Anna Konkle, who I loved in the after party, is really funny here. How she has that awkward kiss with Murderbot, and she's what I would call like having some PTSD problems because of the fact that her units and stuff like that were literally I don't know, attacked by another sec unit from another company. And my theories of this is like a rogue sec unit or another company like sabotaging this group is now been kind of explained as, yes, there is another group that is sabotaging this company because the company would not kill their own people. I mean, that's a lot of money that they would have to pay off to the family. It's like they don't make enough as it is, so why would it really is good stuff. And I love the fact that Pin Lee is like so weird and put off by the fact that her like significant other is kind of attracted to the Anna Konkle character. There's a lot of stuff here to really truly like. I like the fact that Murderbot itself is constantly like commentating on the situation, kind of going, you may not want to do that, that's really stupid, and they kind of work themselves around, like rebooting it. Murderbot's like, it's going, well, if they turn me on, I'm just gonna murder everyone. There's a lot of good stuff with what Alexander Skarsgård is doing with this character, and I love the commentating. I love the simple fact that it's it's very dry-witted, and it's very sarcastic, and it just tells the truth. And it finally reveals that, yes, that he has been compromised by, he's like taking over his like programming and stuff like that. And I love how he goes after Garathan's character and like chokes him and like all that good stuff. He's like, I don't like you. And it's really funny and really entertaining, but it's another thing where I think the episode really has its strengths and its characters, and I really think Chris and Paul Weitz have done a nice job of like making these characters unique and goofy and over the top and silly, making the show really goofy kind of elements that it portrays. Because if you think about it, this is a world that's so hyper realized with what it's trying to do. I mean, it takes place on another planet. There are researchers and scientists, and there's a sec unit that has reprogrammed its programming, and it's kind of commentating and watch Sanctuary Moon. It's just a really goofy premise, a really goofy concept that I don't know. Once again, I will eventually read the books. I'm waiting for this season to end before I do that, but I'm kind of curious, and you can let me know in the comments if the Murderbot Diaries is as dry-witted and goofy and kind of over the top and silly as this series is, because it really is a commentary on like corporatization of planets and the idea of like, you know, who we are as humans and stuff like that, and what would happen if a robot kind of became sentient and stuff like that. It's what the series is doing and what it's fun with. And that's why these episodes being like cut off the way they are is so frustrating, because if you put the two together, it makes it much more intriguing. It makes it much more kind of whole. It makes it more just like fulfilling in a lot of respects that you're not getting in it. Because when you know, Mensa and Murderbot go off to like launch this probe, and then they're there and he's having discussions, and like Murderbot's, you know, having its issues with like talking about pregnancies and stuff like that, and all these like commentaries. And then they're like, oh, we can't launch it, so we had to do it manually. And then they're like, oh no, we can't do that because it's an explosion. And then bam, the credits. It's like, that's not the way you end an episode. It really isn't. That's what's so frustrating. That's what, I mean, I want to love this series, but it does stuff like that, and it's just not long enough. And I know 25 minutes is a good length for what it's doing, but it needs to be one full episode and not just pieces of the episode. And that's what the huge problem is. But everybody in this episode, especially Anna Konkle, who's a standout, just how she's interacting with the people and how she's freaking out. There's stuff there that's entertaining. There's stuff there that's fun, but cutting down the episodes is so frustrating. I don't know. It's my main problem with this series. There's so little to kind of work off when it comes to a review. It almost feels like I should have just done a full season review, but I was so excited for this series that I thought, 10 episodes, you know, maybe 30 minutes will give you a lot of content, and it doesn't work out that way. It feels like they have a full-length movie, a 4-hour movie, that they're just breaking down into 10 episodes instead of making like 3 or 4, or maybe 5, maybe 2 episodes per episode or whatever, and that's just not what's happening. So overall, I really like this episode. I really did. I think it's very funny. I think it's very entertaining. I think all the characters are great and just goofy. And then you have the menace of the Garathic character and David Dastmalchian and stuff like that. But once again, I have to ding it for it's just ineptness to just not make it 2 episodes per episode or whatever. I don't know. They got to do something because this is just not working. But overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 because at least it was a decent, fun episode with some fun, goofy, over-the-top moments. And I think when it works and when it plays on its strengths of just being goofy, I think it's when it works. So overall, 8 out of 10, and that's where I'll lie. So anyways, thank you so much for watching my review of Murderbot Season 1, Episode 5, Rogue War Tracker Infinite. That's a long title. Yeah, so there you go. In the comments below, what did you think of the episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell me why. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.